This is a walkthrough and tutorial for Skydive Sim to give you the latest updates and controls. So you probably noticed right away that we now have names added to each of the scenes. This is a request that we had by one of the users because I do mention from time to time when I'm showing something, for example, the mountain scene that now has a wind tunnel in it. And one of our users said, hey, we don't know which one that is. There's mountains and other ones. So I went ahead and added the names to the scenes. That way it gets easier whenever someone mentions a certain scene. I'm going to start you off with the tutorial. Actually, before I do that, let me bring your attention to this. We've added a FOV limiter, which by default is halfway on. What this does is, as you speed up, let's say you're in free fall or under canopy and you're moving fast, it's going to darken the sides of your vision, your peripheral vision, and that's going to help a lot with motion sickness. So if you're prone to motion sickness, you can probably even bring this up. You can bring it up all the way, or you can, I like to sometimes put it here if I'm in VR too long. For this tutorial, I'm just going to turn it off. Let's go to tutorial scene and go through the controls, because it's pretty important to be able to move around in this game, and not all the controls are similar to what you might be used to. So when you go in, you end up in the plane. It tells you the joystick will let you walk around. Pressing pause is just going to pause the left button, and you'll have access to your audio controls at that point. You can quit out of the scene or you can continue. And we'll go ahead and jump out. Tutorial is pretty self-explanatory. It takes you through. It even has a place for you to put your hands. And every time you go through a step, it shows you a bar at the bottom that you've completed it. Going forward, we're going to bring our hands in closer to the body. You can see you can actually see how it's moving the clouds. So it kind of gives you a reference of which direction you're going. Now I'm going to push my hands forward to push myself back. And again, you can see from the clouds how you're moving. We're going to move to the right, so we're going to push our hands, push the air to the left, so we get pushed to the right. You can see that again with the visuals.
To move left, push to the right.
And we're going to go ahead and move left now by pushing our hands to the right, pushing the air to that side. To slow it down, it's the idea of getting big. You go ahead and open your arms. You can actually open up further and really slow yourself down if you're in a multiplayer situation. And you want to speed up and catch up with someone that's lower than you. You go ahead and bring your hands in. You can bring them all the way in. You speed up quite a bit.
To turn left, rotate your wrist to the left.
To turn left, you just slightly turn your wrist. I'm going left. The more you turn it, the faster you turn. So if you want to just do a little bit, as I'll do here with the right, here we go. We're just turning slowly. Now if I do this, I'm going to turn right a lot more aggressively.
These movements to go through the rings.
The ring challenge is pretty easy. They're mostly under you, but you do have to control a little bit so you don't fall outside the rings. So again, you're just pushing to the opposite direction that you want to go. And here we are with the opening. You just reach for this and pull. If you notice, we've added a toggle neutral position now. That's to let you know when you're going through the rings where the neutral position is. That way you're not flaring by accident. We had people flaring because the hands do get tired and they bring their hands lower. And I'll demonstrate that right now, but it now gives you feedback that, hey, your hands are too low or too high in order to make the next ring. So right now I have my hands low, and you can see it says move your hands higher. And if I move it to where the neutral position is, I'll be able to get all of these rings. Little inputs go a long way with this game, so make sure you don't overdo the inputs.
Now let's try landing maneuvers. Pull both toggles to start your flare.
Just a little bit to start the flare. You can see I'm not really
Continue to
moving a
chest
lot
position.
because in skydiving a little bit can go a long way
Now,
because of the
bring your
speed
hands
you're at,
all the
especially
way
in
down
free
and
fall.
hold
Even under
to finish
canopy,
your
you can
flare.
pull a little bit to one side or the other and start getting that turn. Here we go. It levels itself out again. And we get the landing rings now. Again, if you have your hands low, it's going to tell you to move your hands higher. I'm a little too high, so I'm going to go ahead and dive a bit by using the left and right turns a little bit.
Start
And
your
here we
flare to
go. It
land
tells you to
softly.
lower it so you can flare.
Great job. You're ready to get out there and jump.
And that's
Feel
it.
free to come back
I
here
highly
anytime
recommend
and
doing the
practice.
tutorial,
Careful out there,
if
and blue
not
skies.
once, maybe even several times, because it really helps you get an idea for the fundamentals of how the controls work in this game. So I'm just going to take you through some of the options quickly here. So these are obviously the canopy controls. We've had these presets, now we have a custom one which you can control and build your own canopy setting. If you're not too familiar with it, I recommend not even using this because you can get unexpected behavior from it. You can exit out. I can go back to the expert here. Quality, for those of you on a PC or Quest 3, you can go ahead and push this all the way to the highest. If you're on a Quest 2, low or medium will work fine. Front hacky, you can turn that off or on depending on what you want. Front hacky is just the one that shows up in front of you. And as a skydiver, we don't really like having that because that's not where it is. We just reach to the bottom of the container by the hip. So I normally leave that off. Landing assist is another one we introduced a while back, but I am going to demonstrate something for you guys now. We originally had a bunch of arrows going through for the landing assist, which some people said it is distracting, which I totally agree with. It's distracting. So what we've done is we have now changed it to where you just see the target further out. You don't have a bunch of arrows at you. So here we go. I am an expert, so I'm going to have to really flare quickly and open quickly to be here. Base jumping is better with the bigger canopies. And as you can see, you see a yellow target that's showing me where I'm going to end up at based on my current input and heading. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and there, I've landed. So that's the predictive landing, no more errors now. And let's see, we have AAD. AAD is on by default. AAD opens up if you don't pull by a certain height. It's used as an automatic activation device, which we have on most of the skydivers have it on their rig. They should have it in case they get knocked out. And we have that in here as well. It opens at about 800 feet or so. We have the altimeter that we introduced a while back where you can flip it up or down. Some people like it on top of their wrist. Some people like it on the reverse. So you have that control right here. We have the units, which is imperial or metric now. We have a lot of users not from the US, which prefer metric, so we added that. And the coins are a lot of fun. If they're on, you'll get coins that you can collect and gain more score, which adds to your total score here. That's it for this one. I don't want to make it too long. Just go ahead and do the tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on the chat on the website or on the Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.